everyone who is joining us on NBCLA.com, Telemundo 52, and all of our streaming platforms. I'm Eliana Moreno, News Chopper 4, alongside my pilot, Saro Garbetian, and we are over a fast-moving police pursuit involving now the California Highway Patrol, but at one point it was Riverside Police. Now, this actually appears to have originated out of Victorville. That was where a carjacking took place. And the person inside of the vehicle may also be wanted in connection with a domestic violence incident and also a felony warrant. Unclear how many people may be in the car, but of course there is that one person who at this point we believe is a man. And this is a chase that, again, started out in the IE, made its way westbound on the 210 freeway to the southbound 605, where he just got on the northbound 5, where we find ourselves now. So we are making our way through Downey here. Again, northbound 5 freeway coming up to Slauson. The vehicle itself is what appears to be a Hyundai, a silver Hyundai. Again, a CHP in pursuit for all of my scanner hounds who are listening on your scanner at home. It's on the gold frequency for CHP, so Santa Fe Springs, if you want to listen along there. And once again, this is a chase making its way northbound here on the 5, coming through Commerce here in a moment. And of course, I always have to thank our tipster, PubScan LA on X, who was the first to tell us about this pursuit as it was leaving the IE and making its way into LA County. And we, of course, are overhead now, as it is now northbound on the 5, approaching Garfield Avenue in Commerce. And once again, this is going to be a possible carjacking suspect. We heard that was out of Victorville, and also possibly wanted in connection with a domestic violence incident. Unclear who that victim may have been or where that happened and how they may be doing, but also wanted for a felony warrant. So clearly somebody who has a reason to run, wanted for multiple things here as he continues at about freeway speeds now on the northbound 5. A little bit faster than freeway speeds. I put him at about 80 miles plus, but we heard before we came overhead that he was going over 100 miles an hour. So it's been a fast mover this entire time. He did encounter a little bit of construction on the southbound 5 as he was southbound 605 rather, as he was approaching the 5. So he did slow down a little bit for that Caltrans work, but has picked up speed yet again here northbound on the 5 freeway coming up to Washington Boulevard. And now real quickly, I'm just going to say a few words for our sister station Telemundo in Spanish before resuming our coverage in English. Buenas noches desde el helicóptero. Yo soy Eliana Moreno reportando sobre una persecución policíaca que se encuentra ahora en la ciudad de Commerce. Estamos en la autopista 5 en dirección norte, pasando a la salida de la Boulevard Washington. Inicialmente era la policía de Riverside que estaba persiguiendo al conductor de este vehículo, un Hyundai gris en color, porque creen que el carro es un carro robado. Y también el sospechoso es buscado con un incidente de violencia doméstica también. Al momento se desconoce cuándo eso ocurrió o quién fue la víctima, pero esta es una persecución que ya lleva bastante tiempo porque empezó en el área de Victorville posiblemente y ahora se encuentra en el área de Commerce. El sospechoso estuvo en la autopista 210 en dirección oeste hasta llegar a la autopista 605, donde se montó hacia el sur y eventualmente llegó a la autopista 5, donde se subió en la autopista 5 en dirección norte, donde nos encontramos ahora, acercándonos a la autopista 710 con la patrulla de caminos de California siguiendo a este sospechoso, como les digo, ahora en el área de Commerce y entrando al este de Los Ángeles. Reportando desde el helicóptero, Eliana Moreno, Telemundo 52. Back with you guys here in English. Was just saying a few words for our sister station Telemundo. We're actually the only station that is able to broadcast in dual languages, so whenever we get the opportunity, we of course try to inform as many people as possible. So thank you for allowing me to do that here. Continuing though, northbound on the 5 freeway, coming up to Indiana Street. So this is going to be East LA, always a really busy area because this is actually, as you approach the East LA interchange, which is actually the busiest interchange in the world, where the 5, the 101, the 10, and the 60 all come together there. So hopefully it's not too busy at this time of night, but today really has been a busy traffic day in general, with it being Valentine's Day and a lot of people just out and about with their dinner plans. So I have noticed a little bit of more traffic today than we would normally see on a Wednesday night. But right now, still cruising along here at slightly faster than freeway speeds. He's in the 70s as he continues northbound on the 5, coming up to Calzona in the Boyle Heights area. Again, this is going to be the CHP that's in pursuit behind him. Unknown number of occupants, but we know it's at least one man, the driver. Wanted again for carjacking out of Victorville, also domestic violence, and also a felony warrant. So clearly somebody who has every reason to try to get away here, and he's been going at it for a while now because, again, this started in the IE, made its way westbound on the 210, south 605, then northbound 5, and just coming up to the transition out here in the East LA area. This, again, is the East LA interchange, which is actually in Boyle Heights, but we'll see which freeway he picks. I believe this is going to put him on the 5, but we'll see as he completes the transition. Is there really? Wow. So Sarah was just telling me there's another chase that's coming right at us. It may actually all come, I see it actually out the window. That is comical. I can't believe that. Northbound on the 110 freeway, we see another pursuit that is essentially coming up to USC right now. So coming up to the Coliseum area. I see on that one, I'm seeing 4 units in the pursuit and an airship. I don't know the one on that one. If this one were to come to an end, of course, you know we're going to hop on that one. But this one is continuing here northbound on the 5. The other chase northbound on the 110. I would just stay off the freeway. If you're anywhere in this general LA area, again, there's 2 pursuits in the area. Northbound on the 5, and then one coming northbound on the 110. Both coming into the downtown area. We'll see if they don't pass each other. I've actually never had that happen. I've been doing this for 14 years now this year, and I've never had one pursuit go right next to another one on the same freeway. So we'll see if that happens tonight. But for now, we'll stick with this one. Again, this is the carjacking suspect northbound on the 5 freeway here, approaching the downtown area. So coming through Lincoln Heights. We're still northbound here on the 5. You'll notice sometimes our map kind of jumps around just because we're a little bit further from it, because there's a lot of airships on this. But he's essentially right next to the coroner's office and County USC Medical Hospital. Very light traffic through this area. Again, northbound on the 5, coming into Lincoln Heights. Again, this was a pursuit that originally started with Riverside police, but I heard that the carjacking actually was out of Victorville. So the vehicle may have been spotted in Riverside, and that's how Riverside police got behind it. And then eventually, once it jumped on the freeway, that's when they notified CHP to try to get CHP behind it, and now they're the agency that is in pursuit of this vehicle. So once again, this one is the one that's northbound on the 5. The other one is northbound on the 110. It's out of my field of vision right now, so I can't really update you on that one at the moment, but thank you, Sarah. So Sarah was just telling me there's going to be a hill coming up on this one here real quick, so we may lose sight of it momentarily. You see the units there again, silver Hyundai. Hyundai, I think is how you say it. Don't want to get that one wrong. Silver Hyundai coming through Cypress Park here, northbound on the 5 freeway. There's that hill we were anticipating. So we're very close to Dodger Stadium. Oh, you heard that, Tim? Yeah, he did. We're good, though. Thank you, Tim. So continuing here northbound on the 5 at Stadium Way. That means we're right next to Dodger Stadium, of course. So coming up to basically the 5 and the 2. Let's see how many units are on this. I'm seeing 3 units of the CHP. It's interesting to me that we're almost in the San Fernando Valley now, considering that this started out in Riverside, and pursuits tend to return to an area that the driver is familiar with. So considering that this started in the IE, I would have bet money that we were going to end up in the IE, but now we're almost into the San Fernando Valley. We're at the 5 freeway approaching the 2, the Glendale freeway. So we'll see where we end up. Of course, there are limitations in terms of how far north we can go. If he stays on the 5 north past Castaic, we can't really follow him past that point. But we've still got a long ways to go before we get there. For now, he's in the Silver Lake area. Again, this is northbound on the 5, coming up to the 2, with the California Highway Patrol still in pursuit of this carjacking suspect. So real quick, I'm just going to do another little update in Spanish before resuming on our coverage in English. Once again, thank you very much for watching us here on NBCLA.com. Buenas noches una vez más desde el helicóptero. Yo soy Eliana Moreno reportando sobre una persecución policíaca que ahora se encuentra en el área de Los Feliz. Estamos en la autopista 5 en dirección norte, muy cerca de la autopista 2. Creo que acabamos de pasar la autopista 2, la autopista de Glendale. Y esa es la patrulla de caminos de California que está persiguiendo al conductor de este vehículo gris, una Hyundai, que presumiblemente es un vehículo robado. Es una persecución que empezó en Riverside, pero creo que el vehículo fue robado del área de Victorville. Y la persecución continuó en la autopista 210 en dirección oeste hasta llegar a la autopista 605 en dirección sur y eventualmente la autopista 5 en dirección norte, donde nos encontramos ahora. Hemos pasado por áreas como el estadio de los Dodgers y ahora estamos entrando al Valle de San Fernando, donde la persecución continúa a altas velocidades en la autopista 5 en dirección norte, con 3 patrullas de la patrulla de caminos de California persiguiendo al conductor y, claro, el helicóptero de la policía sobre la persecución también. Reportando desde Glendale, desde el helicóptero, Eliana Moreno, Telemundo 52. NOC from the chopper. Am I still looking okay, or should I swing it over to Oak? You want me to try saddle them? Okay. Back move. Coming up to the 134. I think he's going to take the 134. If he does, Tim, we're going to be okay. That's Tim Deca in NOC. That's our engineering department. Yeah. We might be fine, Tim, because he's going 134 west. I could leave it in Wilson. Back with you guys here on NBC LA. We're on the 134 now, so we're going westbound 134 from the 5, about to pass Forest Lawn Cemetery. gonna zoom in on him real quick. Sometimes the speedometer can be a little bit off when I'm on those wide shots, but once I center him, that's when it gets me a more accurate speedometer speed. So he's still in the high 70s, low 80s. And this is still the California Highway Patrol that is in pursuit. So the vehicle, once again, is a silver Hyundai with what we believe is just one man inside of the vehicle, but unclear if there could be any possible occupants. It was taken in a carjacking. I heard it was out of Victorville, but it was actually Riverside police that first initiated the pursuit, westbound on the 210 and the southbound 605 to the northbound 5, and now westbound on the 134. So we're in the San Fernando Valley, which was something I was saying earlier, that it's interesting that we're in the valley because drivers tend to return to an area that is familiar to them, usually where the pursuit began, and we are a long ways from either Victorville or Riverside here in the San Fernando Valley. The driver, though, is also possibly wanted for a couple other things, domestic violence and also felony warrant. So no bail warrant, thank you. Yeah, no bail warrant is what Saro is hearing. So a no bail warrant. So clearly plenty of reasons to run, and is now coming through the Burbank area here, westbound on the 134. The next freeway that comes up is the 170. That's going to be there at the Hollywood split. If he stays on the 134 actually comes to an end and becomes the 101 essentially. Right there with the 134, the 101, and the 170 coming together. So we're going to be coming up to that very soon here as he proceeds westbound on the 134, entering Toluca Lake. Okay, still westbound on the 134. And I don't know what happened to that other chase that we also had an eye on. When I last saw it, it was approaching USC on the 110, but that was a ways back. No, I don't think they're going to run into each other at this point. Looks like there's a little bit of Caltrans construction here on the westbound 134. And we're pretty much coming up to where it ends, right at the split with the 170 and the 101. I think he's going to continue 101 north, but we'll see as he completes the transition. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be 101 north. So this is areas like Studio City, Valley Village. And passing right by a news van. There's a CHP unit. Gonna try to get behind him. What happens with CHP units is basically, you know, they're the police of our freeways here in California. So as the vehicle continues into different regions, different units of the CHP can get behind him. So in this case, it's going to end up being the teal frequency, I believe, of the CHP that's going to get behind him. But I am hearing them talking about it on the pink, which would be West LA, in case he were to go southbound there on the 405, and we'll get to that. I was hearing Altadena talking about it too, because he was going northbound on that 5 freeway, but then made that last second move there to get on to the westbound 134. And now we're northbound on the 101. So either northbound 101 or westbound 101, they're both correct. People will use them interchangeably. But 101 freeway here at Coldwater Canyon in the Valley Village area. And thank you to everyone who is reaching out to us on X, or formerly Twitter, of course. We do get your messages, and every once in a while when we have a little moment, I can check and answer some questions or just read your comments. So thank you for mentioning us there. I have a comment here from Jimmy, so thank you, Jimmy, for watching. Thank you to Rob Bizzle 310 for watching as well. Prepare for, oh, okay, cool. Okay, sounds good, Tim. I have it set up. I was just talking there to Tim Deckett, our engineer in our NOC department back at the station. As we fly along, essentially the way it works is I need to switch receive sites, switch hilltops, so that you can continue to see our video. So every now and then, whenever there is, let's say, a video drops black, it's just because we need to make that quick switch. So there's a chance that I may have to switch at some point. If I do, I'll warn you guys so that we could reboot things, reset things if need be on our feed. But for now, we're all good here, northbound on the 101 freeway, coming up to Van Nuys Boulevard in the Sherman Oaks area, which means we're very close to that 405 freeway. I'm also watching up ahead. I can see that there's some CHP units coming the other way on the 101, possibly going to try to meet up with this pursuit. So very light traffic both directions. Oh, there we go, sparks flying. He just hit the center divider there. It was some sort of gore point right shoulder deal. So he hit that, and that's why we saw those sparks. Let's see what this little Hyundai can do. Yeah, I see him slowing down significantly. He might have damaged something. I don't think he's slowing down because he wants to. But yeah, I have him at less than 50 miles an hour now, which is the slowest we've seen him go. I'm gonna see if I can get in my doubler here. Maybe we can see a little closer what's going on. Oh, let me try the other one. Let's do this one. I think his front tire is, I want to say it's almost like flat, or yeah. For a moment there, I thought it was flat. It's kind of hard to tell. But that might be what happened. He might have gotten a flat tire when he tried that little move back there. But slowing down a lot. This is the slowest we've seen him go. At one point, we heard he was going as high as 130 miles an hour. And if you're just joining us again, the one on this is carjacking, domestic violence, and no bail warrant. Here's the pit. CHP moving in for that pit maneuver. Successful pit maneuver. He was able to spin him around, but he's trying to regain control. Let's see if he's able to do it. These CHP units, though, may move in and try to box him in. Looks like part of the tire just fell off, too, on the passenger side of the vehicle. So you see the units coming in, and it looks like he's going to be able to drive out of it. But once again, you'll remember he isn't in a stable vehicle anymore. The bumper's hanging off there. I think that part of the tire just went flying. So he's not going to be able to go much longer. In fact, they'll probably just continue to try pit maneuvers as we proceed here, because he is slowing down a little bit more, although right now his speeds are a little bit high for a pit. Now he's dragging that bumper. This isn't going to last much longer, I'm sure. Fortunately, not too much in the way of traffic, so the CHP is going to have plenty of opportunities to try additional pit maneuvers if they can just get him to slow down enough. Ideally, you want to be at about 35 miles an hour or less for a successful pit. The vehicle has to be a certain size. In this case, it's small enough. Basically, it's an axle per axle comparison with the CHP cruisers, so as long as the vehicle is the same size or smaller, they're able to do pits. And of course, ideally, if they don't want to do a pit on a guy who's armed, and in this case we have no information to lead us to believe that he is. But still dragging that bumper here. This silver Hyundai. So he's in the number, looks like I want to say there's no carpool through here, so it'd be like the number 3 lane. So middle lane there, dragging that bumper. Could have sworn I saw part of the tire on the passenger side fly off right after the pit too. So it's a vehicle that's falling apart. He's been driving for a long time. This started with Riverside Police, eventually was transferred over to the California Highway Patrol, and we made our way from the IE into the San Fernando Valley, where we find ourselves now here northbound on the 101, coming up to Reseda Boulevard with still CHP and trail. Looks like 4 units of the CHP, as well as the police helicopter overhead. And thank you to everyone once again who's reaching out to me. I just got a message here from DJ Sal. Thank you, DJ Sal. It's I'm just looking at the clock real quick too, because it's 10:48. We do have the NBC4 News at 11 o'clock coming up here in the next 10 minutes or so. So we'll start getting ready for that as this pursuit continues now in Tarzana, so coming up to Tampa Avenue, northbound on the 101 freeway. And for my scanner hounds who are listening with us, it's on the Teal now, so CHP Teal, West San Fernando Valley. If you're just joining us, this again is a carjacking suspect, also domestic violence, and also a no bail felony warrant. Started in the IE, made its way through LA, and is now in the San Fernando Valley. Now, real quick, I'm just going to do an update in Spanish, since we do have our NBC newscast coming up here very soon, and I might not get another chance to do it. So let me switch on over, and we'll be right back with our coverage in English. Buenas noches una vez más desde el helicóptero. Yo soy Eliana Moreno reportando sobre una persecución policial que continúa aquí ahora en el área de Woodland Hills. Está en la autopista 101 en dirección norte, acercándose a la avenida Hueneca. Y esta es la patrulla de caminos de California que está persiguiendo al conductor de este vehículo, una Hyundai gris en color, porque creen que es un vehículo robado. Y también el sospechoso detrás del volante es buscado en conexión con un incidente de violencia doméstica. Al momento se desconoce la condición de la víctima o cuándo eso ocurrió, pero esa es una persecución que empezó en el condado de Riverside con la policía de Riverside. Continuó en la autopista 210 en dirección oeste, la autopista 605 en dirección sur, la autopista 5 en dirección norte, la autopista 34 en dirección oeste y ahora la autopista 101 en dirección norte. Entonces es una persecución que ya lleva bastante tiempo, mínimo una hora, y ahora estamos en el área de Woodland Hills, donde el vehículo ahora está dañado y como pueden ver es una persecución que continúa a velocidades altas, considerando la condición del vehículo, aproximadamente a 70 millas por hora, con la patrulla de caminos de California persiguiendo a este vehículo desde la tierra, con lo que veo son 4 patrullas y también el helicóptero de la policía. Reportando desde Woodland Hills, desde el helicóptero, Eliana Moreno, Telemundo 52. Okay, back with you guys here in English. I'm ready, Jack, go ahead. Great. Hello, Mike. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Copy that. And once again, thank you to everyone who is joining us on NBCLA.com, our viewers from Telemundo 52, and all of our streaming platforms. We continue to follow this pursuit here northbound on the 101 freeway through Woodland Hills. At the controls of News Chopper 4 is my pilot, Sarah Garabetian. And this pursuit continues northbound on the 101 freeway. And again, this is a carjacking suspect, also wanted for domestic violence, and a no-bail felony warrant. The car is a silver Hyundai with the CHP behind him and above him. It's been going on for a while, all the way from Riverside, and we're now in the San Fernando Valley. And we actually have to prepare for our NBC LA newscast coming up here in the next few minutes. So we're going to be on Channel 4 if you're in the LA area at 11 o'clock. Telemundo 52 on Channel 52 if you're in the LA area. That's at 11 o'clock as well. So we're going to take just a quick breather as we prepare for the show. And of course, if anything dramatic happens between now and then, like that bumper flying right off, we will, of course, interject. But for now, we're just going to prepare for the show real quick. Once again, from News Chopper 4, I'm Eliana Marina. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you at 11 o'clock. I can hear you. Go ahead. Yes. Go ahead, Tim. Yeah, you want me to switch? Okay. 178 on the back gear. You said pictures only on the top? Yeah? Go. Sure, Mike Level for News Chopper 4. We are entering Calabasas here on this police pursuit that started all the way out in Riverside and is now making its way northbound on the 101. 5 minutes out? Okay. Copy that. Yeah. I was going to say, isn't there an incline? 35. Now, you could cause him to overturn. Well, he's got sparks flying on that side where he lost that tire, but he's going about 50-ish. I am. Thank you, Tim. Uh, yes, it is. 101 North. I think it's because he's missing a tire on the other side. Oh, maybe he was going too fast, maybe. Okay, copy that. Well, yes, we're about to be in show in 2 minutes. He did call in. That was a successful pit maneuver, all things considered, but unfortunately he was able to drive out of it. Let's actually roll some tape and show you that pit, which was when he was in the San Fernando Valley, the 101 North. That's when he slowed down just enough, and CHP officers saw an opportunity to try that pit, and it worked for a moment. They were able to spin him out. He was facing the wrong way. It seemed like it was over because he even lost a tire, but was somehow able to drive out of it and continue moving. But in the time since then, he's lost that tire completely. He's down to the rim. That's on the passenger side of the vehicle, on the front side of the car. He also lost the bumper, but incredibly is still going here, northbound on the 101 freeway, approaching Canaan Road in the Agoura Hills area. But we need to backtrack it just a little bit to tell you how this all started. This, again, is a carjacking suspect, also wanted on a no-bail felony warrant and domestic violence. All started out with Riverside police, but then eventually the CHP got behind him now that he's on the freeway, and we may be witnessing a pit. Now, there you go. Here's another pit on the 101 North at Canaan Road. Let's see if this time they box him in, which is not what they did last time. And it looks like he's going to back right into a pole. He's going to get jammed. This is going to be it. So CHP officers are approaching the vehicle now with guns drawn. One officer moving right up to the car and opening the door. That is pretty incredible. They normally don't move in that quickly. But in this case, they were done. They pitted him here. They pushed him into that pole, ran right up to him, opened the door, and now taking him into custody. Correct. Also, one of the things he was wanted for was, again, carjacking, domestic violence, and that no-bail felony warrant out of Riverside Police. They were the original agency until he jumped on the freeway on the 210 West, and they relinquished it to the CHP. It made its way westbound on the 210, south on the 605, north on the 5, west on the 134, and finally north on the 101 freeway, where it appears that things have come to an end. Officers, of course, will clear that vehicle to make sure that no nobody else is inside. But again, one person now in custody at the termination of this pursuit here in Agoura Hills. It was a fast-moving chase, Colleen, at one point going over 100 miles an hour. So even though we've crossed a lot of territory here, all the way from the IE over to Agoura Hills, he was able to make up that trip very quickly because of the high speeds until, as you said, he was pitted and slowed down. But even after the pit, he was still going at freeway speeds, so easily still in the 60 to 70 mile range until finally this last pit maneuver, this second pit maneuver, was able to bring things to an end. And fortunately, no collisions to report during the course of this pursuit, and one person now in custody.
To watch more heart-stopping car chases happening across Southern California, subscribe here. Thanks for watching. The Chase is on.